Lightyear is an app that allows you to invest with as little as £1, buying fractional shares in a range of countries all over the world. It also has relatively low foreign exchange fees, it allows you to gain high amount of interest on any cash that you hold, and it also has some useful analytics for a bunch of stocks that you can use. So I've used Lightyear over the past few months, and in this video I'm going to review the platform, go through all the features that are available for free, and let you decide if this is the platform that you'd want to sign up to. As usual, the links are in the description down below. Sign up using the link and you can receive a bonus when topping up a certain amount. So when you log into the app, you are greeted with this blue screen here, and right now the markets are still open, meaning there will be some fluctuations within the numbers. As you'll see, they'll be going up and down. However, first of all, you are greeted with this graph here, and what I really like about this graph is it gives you the minimum point that your investments fell below, usually somewhere around your starting point, and the highest that your portfolio went. So for example, right now I'm hovering around my highest ever point at around $236. So just like other investment platforms, you have a maximum which shows your investment portfolio over the time period that you've had your account open for. You have the past year stats, so obviously I've only had it since October, so I don't have a whole year of data on that. We have the year to date, we have the month view, so as you can see, any large increases like that are more likely due to deposits rather than the stock market actually going up so fast. We also have a weekly view and a daily view, and as you can see over the past week, this actual increase wasn't actually due to a deposit, more due to the fact that the markets are highly volatile at this present time, given the fact that Silicon Valley Bank crashed and then the S&P 500 crashed as well, and then there was some slight recovery. So in addition to that, it allows you, if you go into your max, for example, to see how much your portfolio has grown since the time you've started investing. So for example, my portfolio has actually been doing very well, weathering the storm, and it's up by 26.14%. So that's a gain of £48.97. So this number will go up and down. However, if we press this, we can have more information about our profit and loss. For example, it gives you the breakdown of the portfolio investments, how much you put in, how much you have as cash balance, the money that you put in including the deposits and anything else such as rewards, the profit and loss based on your trades they can make, and I'll show that in a bit, and the return as a percentage. These figures are not always 100% accurate as with most other investment portfolios. This is because when you're making many trades, it becomes almost impossible to actually keep track of when you actually sold that. For example, if I bought 100 shares at £100 and then I bought another 100 shares at £50, when I sell 100 shares, there's actually no way of knowing which of those shares I actually sold, and of course most investment platforms also find this very difficult. So if we click on the magnifying glass, we can see the explore page. So just like many other platforms, the explore page is a good page to find out more about the kind of companies and stocks that you can invest in. It has a very nice little ticker thing here like they used to have on those buildings, showing the most popular stocks and if they're up and down over the past day. There's also a search bar to search the stocks if you know the exact name or ticker code. There's some important updates about your holdings that you can see at a glance. For example, CrowdStrike Holdings, American Express, Chevron. It gives you the quick overview of how up or down they are and a bit more information about those too. We also, just like other investment platforms, have the popular this week, and Lightyear has recently added ETFs to their collection. So they only used to offer individual stocks. Now, however, they do offer ETFs. The selection of ETFs at the moment is not that big. However, I do think they have the main ones that most people would want to invest in. For example, a bunch from Vanguard, including the VUSA designated in euros, the VUSA designated in pounds. So it is quite important if you're from the UK to go for the one designated in your own currency. However, they do offer the VUSA, but they are not fractional ETFs. So unlike Trading212 or InvestEngine, you can't invest into this particular ETF or most of these ETFs in a fractional way. That is still limited to individual stocks at the moment. Most of these available ETFs, so only 50 at the moment, are kind of duplicates. For example, the Vanguard S&P 500 in pounds and in euros. So it looks like it has a lot more ETFs than it actually does. Most of these are actually S&P 500 in one form or another. We have the FTSE All-World High Dividend Yield. We have a few more ETFs. So the big players here, Vanguard, iShares, and even Van Eek, which I've actually never heard of. But yeah, Lightyear right now does offer some ETFs, so that's really good. Going into the VUSA, for example, we can see what kind of information they have when buying a stock or ETF. So one thing I have noticed about Lightyear is the fact that their pricing is updated very quickly. Most platforms like Trading212 and Freetrade have a 15-minute lag between the London Stock Exchange and their platform. I'm still assuming that there is a lag between those numbers and what Lightyear gets in real time. However, for some reason, it does feel faster. Overall, the app is designed very well in my opinion. The graphics are done really well, very smooth, very good looking, nice contrast between the foreground and the background, and it allows you to really easily see the dips in the portfolios between days, weeks, months, for example, or etc. We can also see the highest point, which is very useful, and the lowest point between that time period. We can see the change in percentage points also. So if we scroll down, we can see the fund highlights. We can see the ongoing charges, for example. So at this point, it's 0.07 annually, which is the normal price for the VUSA. So currently there isn't extra additional fees between buying this directly from Vanguard or buying it from Lightyear. So just like InvestEngine, you can buy the same Vanguard fund from somewhere else on this platform without having to pay any extra fees, such as the Vanguard management fee. In addition to having good graphics, the UI elements are very, very smooth. For example, when I actually move this up and down, as you can see right here, the graph is actually caving in too, which is really, really cool. And it becomes flat as I scroll down, which is just an added feature that just makes the whole scrolling and just going through the user interface much more of a fun experience. We also have metrics including the fund size, the dividend rate, the dividend yield, and what exactly is in the holding, which is really good to see from the free section of the app. However, I do think InvestEngine does give you the breakdown in more detail. However, most people probably would not care about that, or if they wanted to, they could just Google it. We can see the kind of sectors the S&P 500 is made of. For example, technology is 30%, and the next biggest is healthcare at 14%. We can see the regional breakdowns, so the map of where these companies are kind of based. So as you can see, the S&P 500 naturally is very highly concentrated in the United States. You also have upcoming events, which is very, very useful. You can see the next ex-dividend date is on March the 16th, which means you have to hold usually a day before the ex-dividend date in order to be eligible to getting the dividends later on. So the ex-dividend date is not the same as the payment date. The payment date is usually 1 or 2 weeks after the ex-dividend date, so make sure you take all of that into consideration. Just because the payment date is set by Vanguard or whoever doesn't mean you're going to be paid by Lightyear at that day. Although that being said, Lightyear does pay dividends very, very timely. I've had problems with free trade where the dividend hasn't been given, but Trading212 and Lightyear seem to be very good at giving the dividends at the correct time. You can find more about any of these funds by going on the about section, and it tells you more about the S&P 500, for example. In this specific case, you can see extra information such as the ticker code and the fact that it's trading on the London Stock Exchange. So if you're picking a fund and you don't know which one to go for, always make sure that it is from the London Stock Exchange if it's an ETF or a fund that is available in more than one country, because LSE will give you the best pricing. You can also find the key information document here, and just to confirm, the pricing is delayed by 15 minutes from the London Stock Exchange, just like Trading212 and free trade. However, like I said, it does feel quite fast. That is one consideration that many people don't understand, is when an app is very easy to use and it feels very easy to use and it kind of feels faster, that is a very big pro for using that app. For example, for me, free trade is very easy to use, very easy on the eye. That is why I like free trade. The same goes for Lightyear. It might not be the best overall, but it's very easy to use, and the user interface and everything just makes you feel very welcome and like you're in charge of your money, which is a very big consideration to actually have, and one that many reviewers overlook. Following on from the Explore tab, we can see that we can discover all the other ETFs. So I was wrongly in saying that there's only 50 ETFs. There's about 155 ETFs from all over the world, which you can actually check here. But again, most of these are going to be your core ETFs that most people will be interested in. So it's very good that Lightyear now is offering ETFs. However, most of them I don't think are fractional, so that is a bummer. If you're more of an individual stock picker, you can actually browse stocks by country too. So very limited to Europe and UK, 46 in the UK, 224 in Europe, getting bigger by the way, and 2,295 in US, so it's more heavily focused on US stocks, and it pretty much offers any single stock that you can think of in the US. Let's go to Apple, for example, and what I want to talk about is how easy it is to buy and sell. Like I said, the user interface is very good. The app developers have made very good use of vibration, so when I press buy, I can actually feel the vibration. Even through key presses, I can feel the vibration. I think it's very well made. So for example, Apple, if I wanted to buy $1 of it, I can actually buy $1. Right now I don't have $1, but it's very easy. I just put in $1, preview order and buy. So I do have 7 cents, and the minimum amount for this stock is £1. So continuing on the Explore tab, we can see there are collections, for example, gainers, losers, energy, new ETFs, new stocks. If you are new to investing, I would stay away from this kind of thing. But just because something is new, just because something is winning for a set period of time, doesn't mean it's going to continue winning. I would highly recommend doing your own research into your stocks before you start investing, as you can otherwise lose all your investments putting your money into random stocks. So next we have the investment calendar, which is very useful. So some of the companies I invest in do have dividends upcoming. You can see the date that they should be paid on. So we can go into that. It shows quarterly dividend by McDonald's, $1.52 shares, and it kind of gives you extra information and the timetable about that. So it makes it very easy for you to not miss out on dividends if you already own a stock, or if you want to buy a company just before ex-dividend. It tells you the exact time that you can buy this company, look at if it's the kind of value that you want to buy at that time, and execute at that. So if we go back into our portfolio, we can see all our investments, and then I'm going to quickly show you how it is like to actually sell some investments, although I'm not going to sell them right now. So it seems like Lightyear is always adding extra bits of information to the portfolio. So we can see this is a new section here. It gives you an overview of your investments in terms of your holdings. For example, most of my holdings are in Alphabet Class 1, and the rest are pretty much in CrowdStrike and very small amounts in other individual stocks. It tells you the 9 sectors that it's in, so mostly technology based, very heavily technology based actually, and then the 2 countries that these companies are encompassing, mostly United States, but however a very small amount in Israel too. So I started using Lightyear as a proof of concept that by putting a small amount of money in every single month, literally less than £50, over a period of time you can get nice compounding growth. So I started in October, which is not many months ago, and I've been consistently putting maybe £20 or £30, and currently it is at £237, although around £30 has been from signups, the rest has been from deposits and capital gain. As you can see, 26% increase over the past few months is actually really good. So if you go into my investments, you can see mostly, like I said, it is in Alphabet and CrowdStrike, and the rest are just proof of concept showing that you can actually put $1 into any company. So just before I show you my holdings, I want to show you how the cash balances and the cash stuff work in this investment app. So as you can see, you can hold 3 currencies, so pounds, dollars, and euros. For me, I live in the UK, so whenever I deposit, it's always going to be in pounds, so I can just press deposit, and what I really like is the instant bank transfer is very quick. There are other ways, however, they might incur some fees. So the thing that sets Lightyear apart is the fact that you earn interest on any cash balances that you have, and this interest is actually only 0.75% lower than the central bank interest rates. So for example, currently the Bank of England base rate is 4%, and you're earning 3.25% from your cash balance. You don't have to actually do anything. You can opt out if you want to due to tax reasons. However, all you have to do is just deposit money. Say you deposited £100, you'll get 3.25% of that. So they'll actually pay you monthly, but it will be calculated as an annual percentage. That being said, if the central bank then reduces the interest rates, that's going to reflect quite quickly into your account, meaning that you have less interest gained on those balances. So if you're buying US stocks on Lightyear, most of the time your cash will be then converted into dollars. And if you're trading between American stocks, the best thing is that you don't have to pay FX fees, because you're just getting back everything in dollars, meaning that you don't have to just keep then changing your money between dollars and pounds. You can just keep it in dollars and accrue that as interest. And then when you're ready to withdraw one day, you can just take it as dollars, hoping that you get a good exchange rate for your money and stuff like that. Also, you can, if you really want to, deposit in euros and have it stay in euros or convert to dollars. The reason why this option is available is because Lightyear is also available in other places in Europe, not just the UK. So having euros is very good. Although the ECB base rate is quite low at the moment, that shouldn't be a consideration of using this app or not. So if I scroll down now, what I really like is that you can see your activities quite easily. So for example, I want to see how much I've actually made through rewards. I can click rewards, and I can see that I made around £30 from rewards, and then a welcome bonus was $10. If I want to get rid of that and then look at my dividends, I can easily see all the dividends that I received and when I did that. Also, you can do this with withdrawals and deposits too, so it's very easy to see the history of everything that you've done, see all the conversions that happened in your portfolio. Very easy to manage your money. So now we're going to go through how it is like to have holdings and how it is like to sell, and any sort of additional tools Lightyear affords you as a user, as a free user, because I am using the free version of this app, although there are paid versions of this app that I'm not going to talk about in this review. So for example, Alphabet Class B, so I can buy at the market price, for example $1. I don't have the money right now. When buying, I can choose dollar amount or number of shares. For example, if I wanted to buy 1 share, it's going to cost me around $91.64. And as you can see from the graph, you can see the maximum movement or maximum recorded movement of the price of Alphabet, for example, over the past few years. Also the year to date, month, etc. You can see that currently it is down by 2.5% or $4.93 in my portfolio since I bought it. You can see market cap, EPS, price to earning ratio, and stuff like that. You can also see analyst ratings on the free version. So 88% are buying, 12% holding, and none of the analysts are selling. This is all part of the free app, which is quite good. However, I wouldn't always take analyst ratings as anything to go by. I would do my own research before investing in stocks, and definitely do not take stock advice from anyone on YouTube or anything like that. You can also see the analyst price targets. Like I said, I wouldn't really go into too much of this unless I really knew what I was talking about and I compared it with other analyst information that I trust. You can see the financials of the company, so for example the income statement, and as you can see Alphabet has consistently increased its revenue. And speaking of UI elements, I can feel the vibration here, and also the interaction between my finger and the graphs is very cool. You can see the balance sheet, the cash flow. These are for more advanced investors. However, I would highly suggest that if you are getting into investing in individual stocks, that you understand these things such as cash flow, balance sheets and income statements. These are all available in the free version of Lightyear. You can see the earnings projections, misses and hits in terms of revenue and income and things like that. You can find out more information about recent earnings calls. Here seems like a podcast or a soundbite of some sort that you can actually listen to and get reports on Alphabet. There's also great integration of news events and things like that about Alphabet, for example, that you can click onto and you'll be led to an external site. So take that into consideration, that it's going to be an external site, so be careful about that. You can also see your recent activities, for example, on buying Alphabet at these prices, find more about the company and so much more information and anything relevant to Alphabet, for example, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft and things like that. So there is a lot of information that you actually get for free on the free version of this app. So far very easy to use, lots of advanced features that you can use. So let's just go into the sell features. It is very easy to visualize selling stuff. For example, if I want to sell one share of Alphabet, I go into preview order. So one thing I've noticed during the filming of this video is the fact that they've actually gotten rid of advanced features such as buy limits and sell limits in the free version, something that I can't actually show you at the moment because I don't pay for it. So unfortunately you can only sell at market orders. For example, if I wanted to sell one share now, I preview my order and if I press confirm now, it's going to sell straight away, which is something I don't want to do. You can see that there is no trading fee and it's based on live pricing. This is something I didn't realize before making this video. I was going to show you how they incorporated buy and sell limits, which was super visually the best I've ever seen, where they actually use a vertical line and you can actually set the limits above and below where you want to go, and it will execute that at a market order later down in the line. This is something that you can no longer do with Lightyear Invest, unfortunately. So why should you choose Lightyear over other competitors, especially Trading212? So Lightyear has made a number of changes since starting, and it slightly feels like it's on the same path as Freetrade. The fact that they started off really well and they're starting to increase their prices and getting rid of features for free people. So based on the website, Lightyear allows you to invest in 3,000 global stocks starting as little as £1. That is all well and good. However, Trading212 also lets you do that, so that as a unique selling point doesn't sell me. Goodbye hidden fees. However, Lightyear has increased their foreign exchange fees. They started off having no foreign exchange fees and now they have a quite large foreign exchange fee of 0.35, something that is akin to what Freetrade is doing, and it looks like Lightyear might indeed be going through that avenue. Knowledge is power, analyst ratings you do get free with Lightyear. That is its unique selling point in my opinion. However, I still feel like Lightyear is very much beginner focused investing app, and most beginners won't really benefit from all these advanced analyst ratings in my opinion. And to top it all off, Lightyear is not FSCS, it's not Financial Services Compensation Scheme certified, meaning that your money isn't backed up by the FSCS, which gives you an extra layer of security, making it quite hard to actually recommend Lightyear as your next investment platform. So who do I think Lightyear is for, and what use case scenarios can you use Lightyear for? So I think as a secondary investment platform, as a place to put very small amounts of money into individual stocks, maybe just for fun or maybe just for learning about investing, I think Lightyear has a use case scenario in that. For me, I'll still be contributing tiny amounts into my Lightyear app. However, at this present time, I can't really recommend it for the masses. I would recommend, if you're new to investing, to stick with either Trading212 or InvestEngine. Two very different platforms, but then again, you don't need duplicates when it comes to investing. The more investment platforms we have in the UK, the better in terms of competition. However, it feels like it's very difficult to manage an investing platform. The fees often start creeping up, and unless you're Trading212, who makes money from a different section of their company and makes other parts free for the investing section, it's going to be very difficult to actually keep maintaining these fees. So at the end of the day, it is your decision. If they don't currently offer an ISA, so that's going to put a lot of people off. However, if you're new to investing, Lightyear can be an amazing amazing platform to start off. And when you make more money, either Lightyear will improve by then, or you can move your funds to an ISA in another company like Trading212, Vanguard, or whatever it is. I'm impartial in this video. I would love to thank everyone for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. It really does mean a lot, but the audience is always the most important for me, and I want to make sure these videos always offer value to the audience. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I will see you in the next video.